And it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the 21st Annual Manning Awards Ceremony. The Manning family, Archie, his wife Olivia, their sons Cooper, Peyton, and Eli, have been tremendous representatives of this great city for many, many years. More than 20 years ago, the Sugar Bowl committee began working with the Manning family to create this award, honoring the country's best collegiate quarterback. In doing so, the Sugar Bowl hoped to pay tribute to the outstanding achievements of the Manning family, including the three great Manning quarterbacks, while also recognizing the best young quarterbacks around the country. Please take a look at the video screen now for more on the history of the Manning Award.
In 2004, the Allstate Sugar Bowl created the Manning Quarterback Award to recognize the collegiate accomplishments of Archie Manning and his sons, Peyton and Eli. The three Mannings all starred in college. As a group, they combined for over 25,000 passing yards and 201 touchdowns while playing in 10 bowl games and earning 4 bowl MVP awards. Archie was the number 2 pick in the NFL draft, while both Peyton and Eli were selected number 1 overall. And the professional success of all three is well documented. They are also proud representatives of the great city of New Orleans. The Manning Award is unique in that it is the only quarterback award to take into consideration the bowl performances of its finalists. It has quickly become a coveted postseason honor, and looking at the list of winners, it's easy to see why a player would want to join this distinguished fraternity.
Yeah, and the stats from the Manning Award winners are truly amazing. 4,000-yard passing seasons, 1,000-yard rushing seasons, record-breaking touchdown numbers. But the common stat for all of the honorees is victories. The recipients of this award have averaged nearly 11 wins per season. Manning Award winners have also factored prominently in the NFL draft, as each one has heard his name called on draft day. 6 honorees were selected number 1 overall. 5 others went number 2 or number 3. All of this shows that the Mannings, the Sugar Bowl, and the city of New Orleans have had the opportunity to recognize some great quarterbacks over the past 21 years. And today, we get to add another outstanding young quarterback to the distinguished list of Manning Award winners. Cam, we'd like to welcome you to the city. We hope you enjoy your visit here. Thank you for taking a little time to be with us here in New Orleans. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Ward. We would also like to thank his parents for joining us tonight as well. Thank you to Calvin and Patrice for flying in from Texas for the event. Thank you for being here. Now, before we continue with the Manning Awards ceremony, I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the Allstate Sugar Bowl. People around the country know the Sugar Bowl is a great college football game played every year, New Year's Day, here in New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. What many people don't realize is the tremendous year-round contributions the Sugar Bowl committee makes to this region. Each year, the bowl hosts and sponsors a wide range of events which promote amateur athletics while serving as an economic engine for this city and this state. For many years, the Sugar Bowl has sponsored the high school football championships, which of course are played right here every year in the Superdome. It also sponsors golf tournaments and swim meets and sailing regattas and volleyball competitions and a whole lot more. In addition to events in nearly every sport you can think of, the Sugar Bowl has often provided financial support to the community through hurricanes and pandemics, as well as in other times of need. The Sugar Bowl has stepped up for the city of New Orleans with millions of dollars of support. Since 2019, the Bowl has worked with the College Football Playoff to donate and commit nearly $5 million to support local teachers. And just this year, in the aftermath of the January 1st terrorist attack, the Sugar Bowl donated $500,000 to support victims as well as public safety. Furthermore, in conjunction with the Super Bowl, the organization worked with Nike to install a new football field in Joe Brown Park in New Orleans East. All of this activity has produced an economic impact of over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. I could go on and on talking about the Sugar Bowl's impact, but the main point is that the Allstate Sugar Bowl and its tremendous committee committee of volunteer members are a vital part of the fabric of New Orleans, and everybody here in the city understands and appreciates what they do. I would like to ask any committee member to please stand up so we can give you a round of applause. Who here is with the Sugar Bowl committee? Yeah, thank you for everything you do. Now, please allow me to introduce the president of the Sugar Bowl committee, Dottie Reese.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to speak on behalf of the Sugar Bowl Committee. So for over 90 years, the Sugar Bowl has remained one of the most prominent and successful volunteer nonprofit organizations in the country. And so we've hosted many of college football's greatest players as well as coaches in our annual game. And 21 years ago, we had the pleasure of creating the Manning Award. And so it not only recognizes the contributions of the Manning family and for all that they've done for college football and for the city and for the state, but also recognizes the best young quarterbacks in the game. The Sugar Bowl is very active throughout the city and the state year-round, as Doug mentioned, with our very numerous events, and we play a very vital part in so many activities. But we first and foremost, we take pride in playing a major role in college football's national landscape. And the Manning Award allows us to do just that. The Manning Award allows us to acknowledge outstanding young men from across the country. And each week, a top quarterback is recognized for their performance. And then each year, we have the honor of welcoming the nation's best collegiate quarterback to our city. Well, today, we have the privilege of saluting Cameron Ward as winner of the Manning Award. So if you follow and following college football, you know about the very proud history of the University of Miami. Well, their history got even better when Cam showed up on the scene, and he transferred to the U last spring. Well, we all remember last year, Cam Ward's outstanding performance. It was filled with great plays and impressive statistics. But most importantly, he helped the Hurricanes win. He was out there when they had their first 10-win season since 2017. That's a lot. And now Cam is with us as the best quarterback in the country. Cam, I know that you are extremely busy right now with your workouts and your training as you get ready for the draft. So we want to thank you so much for being with us and just taking the time from your very important, tight schedule to do that. We're all pulling for you for that draft, and we want to thank you again for being here. We want to thank your parents, Patrice and Calvin, for being with us, as well as your beautiful girlfriend, Nyla, who could join us as well. It's been wonderful to have you all here. We're excited for you, Cam, and thank you again, and congratulations.
And if you don't mind, a round of applause for Dottie Reese. All right, now, speaking on behalf of the Manning family, the most valuable player of the 1970 Sugar Bowl, a member of the College Football Hall of Fame, chairman of the National Football Foundation, and a member of the Sugar Bowl Committee, please welcome Mr. Archie Manning.
Thank you, Doug. I'm right on the borderline with these things. I'm gonna go with them though. First of all, no, I'm not. But on behalf of my family, I want to again express my gratitude to the Sugar Bowl when you created this award. We're proud members of the New Orleans community. It's an honor for our family to be associated with the Sugar Bowl. Sugar Bowl has been such a crucial piece of this city. From its start in 1935, it was critical in building New Orleans into the best big event city in the country. And more recently, the Bowl has proven itself to be a key part of this great community by sponsoring sporting events for young people, providing thousands of dollars in scholarship aid to top young scholar athletes, and supporting the area's teacher community with significant funding. Very proud to be part of an organization that has produced nearly $2.5 billion in economic impact to the region over the last decade. Now, as Doug mentioned, the Manning Award has been associated with 21 outstanding quarterbacks since 2004. It's been a true pleasure to watch all these amazing young men play the game at such a high level. Every year there seems to be more deserving candidates for the Manning Award. This year was certainly no different. There were great quarterbacks in every conference, young guys leading their teams to great seasons, veterans getting the job done week in and week out. We have a young man here today that has quite an interesting story. Most everybody knows about the Manning Passing Academy, where my family and I get to work with young quarterbacks each summer down in Thibodeau. Well, as part of that camp, we bring in college quarterbacks to work with younger kids at the camp. And a few years back, I had a call from a quarterback from the University of Incarnate Word down in did I say that right? Incarnate Word, down in San Antonio. And this coach let me know that there was a quarterback playing there that didn't get much attention coming out of high school, but he was pretty impressive. So I like to keep an eye on quarterbacks around the country every year. And in 2021, he passed for 4,600 yards and almost 50 touchdowns. So I wasn't too surprised to hear that he was transferring to a higher level. He went to Washington State for the 2022 season. Just a 2,000-mile jump out there. He had an excellent season that first year in Pullman. Though I have to say, for a young man from Texas, Pullman, Washington must have been a little bit of a culture shock. Needless to say, after that first year at Washington State, we invited him to be one of our counselors at the Manning Passing Academy, and it's been something else to watch him to continue to develop. He had another big year in 2023, and after graduating from Washington State, Cam made the move back down south. I guess a 2,000-mile move went pretty well for him, so this time he made a 3,000-mile jump to the University of Miami. Incarnate Word and Washington State quarterbacks sometimes may not always get the nationwide attention no matter what they do. But what he did at the U got everyone's attention from coast to coast. As Dottie mentioned, Cam led Miami to his first 10-win season since 2017, Heisman Trophy finalist, ACC Player of the Year, and an All-American. Let's take a look at the video screen for some of the highlights from last year.
If Cam Ward is what we think he can be at quarterback, they may have the best one in the ACC.
See, I'm back on his confidence, his swagger.
Cam Ward is a good football player.
The most gifted thrower in the country.
See, I'm back on my bull. Came a long way from school. We done been banging and walking with full clips. About to be with them blue strips. All I hang with the solid came with no
able to
slips.
spin free of Cersei. My Cam Ward's having himself a day.
Walk him down, but that teach him a lesson. I been kicking cool and got paper like Messi. I'm Zion, yo, red. She say that she love how my big two dressing. How that Audemars go with that neck. My features are dub, my shoulders a blessing. I got paper, I ain't doing no stress. The one who put all this together, that gave me some good and I made that shit better. Turned up the match, my watch changed up the weather. I'm bigger and better, bigger than ever. Thought they was running, now I had to catch him. He tried with some funny, shoot it, go stretch. I ran up some money and never got selfish. I'm sorry, I put my whole team on the
Now he's a
bench.
top 10 pick. Maybe a top pick. Maybe the top pick when all is said and done.
Here's Miami's whole philosophy. We have Cam Ward, and you don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2004 Manning Award winner from the University of Miami, Cam Ward. All right, well, no heavy questions from me. We'll make this fun. It's kind of always interesting. Can you throw out somebody who really had the biggest influence on you? Somewhere just along the line, who had the biggest influence?
I would say both my parents. And they both did it different type of ways. My dad was more the friend, out of all my siblings. My mom, she was more the disciplined person. So, I went to school with her. She worked at the high school. But I say both my parents, they sacrificed a lot financially to get me where I am. Time-wise, they sacrificed to, send me all across the country to, train. So, those who they've been in my corner since day one.
Oh, that's great, and that's a great answer. And we're so glad. We don't always have the parents saying that. We like to, though, and we're so glad y'all came and so glad to have y'all with us tonight. In this world, it's a few other good buddies in here, played a little football, played a little college football. We didn't know what a 2-star, 3-star, we didn't know what in the world that was. So, but you were really a 0-star recruit. So what changed at Incarnate Word?
I just think they finally let me throw the ball. So that was the biggest thing that changed. I knew I would get to, a certain point in my career where I wanted to get. But all I had to do was work hard. So I just think that, them giving me my first scholarship was really all the thing I needed. All I needed was to, get on the field, just make myself better, my teammates better.
Now, we have our football camp. We're in our 29th year, but I think we're going into our 19th year at Nicholls State. Was Nicholls State in your conference at Incarnate? Did you play in Thibodeau?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's probably one of the hottest games I played. That game was hot.
Yeah. So you went full circle playing. You played in a game there and then came back to the Manning Passing Academy. That was great. Oh, that was right. Okay, so we talk about Thibodeau. We've got to talk a little bit. What was it like in Pullman, Washington?
I think you can. All y'all really gotta do is go to the map and look at Pullman. It'll explain itself. It ain't nothing but cold wheat fields. The drive, and it's a stadium that holds 36,000 people. So it's a college town, and that's really it. It's only about a couple food places you can eat: Jack in the Box, McDonald's, and I like going to this Chinese spot. I go there every Monday, and so I was a regular there, and all it is there is you chill with your teammates and you just watch football. Mm-hmm. I would say that place made me really lock in on football because there's really nothing that you could do but do football. So it had a good impact in my life. The teammates I had there was good. The coaching staff I had there was good. So I wouldn't change going back to Pullman, but I don't plan on going back though.
So you got to do it in 3 totally different places, in Texas, Incarnate, with Pullman, Washington, then Miami. But somewhere along the line, was there one stadium, one setting, just one place that was stands out, was really special to you?
I would say USC. Just all the history they had there, and then just the grass that they had on that field was different. And like you've been on that. You've been
so
on
much history, a lot of history there. A lot of history there.
Like that grass they had on that field is just different. So that's my favorite stadium. It wasn't sold out, but it actually was pretty loud though.
That's great. I played a lot of games in that stadium. It was funny. We played the Rams. We played the Rams every year, and I'd always go out early to warm up. And there were always some celebrities there from the Rams. And I'd go out early, and every time we'd play the Rams, and I would talk to Jonathan Winters and James Garner. They were two, and I'm dating myself now when I bring up that many pictures. Okay, Cam, we watched those impressive highlights from a little bit ago. One play, one series, maybe one game. I mean, what during the... You're looking back over the whole thing now. One little thing. What jumps out? What do you remember?
It wasn't on there, but it was the crossbody pick I threw versus Cal. They ended up leading to a 25-point comeback. So that was probably my favorite.
You remember those?
Right there.
You remember those?
When you throw, especially quarterback, when you throw a pick, and you're on the opposite sideline, you see them just running back for the touchdown, you hear everybody going crazy, that's a feeling you don't want to feel. And so I made up for it, though.
All right, lessons learned. What's along the way, ups and downs, a lot more positive things, but best lesson along the way.
I'll say the biggest lesson is that you have to be the same person every day, in the building, outside the building, during the games, when the game's over. Especially at the quarterback position, the team's going to look at you when things are high and when things are low. So I just try to stay right between the middle. I never get too high, whether I'm up by 30 or if I'm down by 30, I never get too low. And so I think that's the biggest lesson I learned along the way, is to, just keep playing. At the end of the day, keep playing the game till the clock says 0.
And just a little word of advice to a young quarterback right now. What would you tell a young quarterback?
Just to work hard, believe in God. Those the two biggest things that can get you to where you want to be. And don't really worry about whether your peers get a couple scholarships, because the blessing in the neighborhood is coming your way eventually. And so just work hard, believe in God, and everything will take care of itself.
Cam, you got a great story. You've come a long way. Certainly, I talked about it in true miles, but also in football. Now you hear people talking about possibly being the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. What's your thoughts on that?
It's good to hear. It's a blessing, especially for my parents to help put me in this position. But I'm just excited to play on Sundays. So I'm really not too worried about what pick I go. I just want a jersey number, and I'm just trying to throw the football. So that's really the only thing that matters to me, is the building, my teammates. And once I find out where I'll be at April 24th, I make sure I give that franchise everything.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2024 Manning Award winner, Cam Ward.
Great job. Yeah, great.
Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for Archie Manning and Cam Ward. Cam, thanks again for joining us this evening. We know the schedule is tough between his pro day, a long line of interviews, workouts with teams. We really appreciate you and your parents taking the time to join us here tonight. Once again, for the last time, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Cameron Ward. And thank you, everyone, for attending tonight's ceremony. Please drive home safely. Good night, everybody.